Hey guys, happy Friday! I'm here with one of my nearest, and honestly, dearest. We were doing a little bit like too much hugging before we came on air,
good.
but it's good.
Yeah.
You came to New York.
And I had to see you.
I had to see him, and that's why I said I have to have you on a Walk with Walsh to talk about everything he does, not only in Florida, but in the country, and everyone he touches. So this is Tyler.
Hi.
Hi. Tyler, tell us about what you do and what your company is.
Okay, so I work for a nonprofit agency in Jacksonville. It's called the Independent Living Resource Center. You'll probably
see a lot of ILRC,
right?
A lot all over the place.
Yes, and we've been around since 1978 to help people with disabilities to live independently.
Which is a hard task.
It is. You know, when you're talking about disability and the many types and the many people that fall in those categories,
Sure.
Everybody has their own goals for independence.
Yeah.
And so we work with each of them to help empower them to achieve those goals.
It's important. How do people find you? How do the different resources find you to say, I need a wheelchair or I need something from you? How do they find you?
Right, so SILs have been around since 1970s. They came out of a process called deinstitutionalization.
Okay.
A little bit before my time, but at one point people with disabilities were literally just picked up and put into institutions.
Yes.
Just because they had a disability. So Centers for Independent Living came around to help fight that. Deinstitutionalization.
Sorry guys.
And it's good. I love New York. It's great.
I know, it's good energy. It's really good energy. Sorry, when Tyler dropped him for a second, when I saw him, I had to literally physically shake him and hug him because he's such good energy. And again, that's why I want people on Walk with Walsh that are used to the good energy and that are doing really powerful and meaningful things. So anyway, back to you.
So, well, no, I appreciate that. And SILs, so they've done a lot of good work. There's 400 around the nation.
Okay.
There's about 16 in the state of Florida.
Wait a little bit.
Yeah, obstacle.
You're good.
So there's, and we serve Northeast Florida, and the only qualifications to receive services from us is that you have a disability. And a lot of times when I ask people when they think about disability, what are the first three that they think of? They think of wheelchair, blind, and deaf, because it's very visual, right? You can see that. But disabilities spectrum's huge. When you talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, HIV, AIDS, cancer, diabetes, all of these that might have different limitations for life are considered disabilities.
And people don't honestly understand that. They don't recognize that all of those facets are disabilities. And thankfully people can say, okay, this is something I need help with. So they can go to you for this help.
And so our SIL is part of that network of 400 around the nation. I'm actually going to visit one on Monday here in New York, but they have 5 core services of information referral, independent living skills trainings, advocacy, transition, and peer mentoring. And so those are the 5 staples, but what's great about Centers for Independent Living, including ours, is that they can flex to the needs of their community. So we have things...
That's really important.
Yeah, it's huge.
Every neighborhood and every community must be so different in their needs and what they require from... Even like the location just has to be so different.
Right. One of our needs that we see in Jacksonville is durable medical equipment, which is huge.
What is that exactly?
So if you're thinking about, you know, wheelchairs, potty chairs, shower chairs, canes, walkers, all of those are examples of what's called durable medical equipment. And sometimes when you've had like a traumatic incident or you're going through rehab, sometimes you have to wait for insurance, Medicare, Medicaid. So in that process, we've created a great collaboration with Brooks Rehabilitation, which you know, in Jacksonville. So they help financially support this program, and we're able to get that durable medical equipment to everybody while they're waiting.
And you guys, I know many people don't understand, that is such a huge help, because when you are waiting for something that you desperately are in need of, and it might be something really simple, the simple things you just mentioned, it takes such a huge relief off of your plate of, oh my gosh, I'm without a walker, I'm without a wheelchair, I'm without, you know, ways to use the restroom. It's a huge help and a huge release.
And not a lot of people think about disability. You know, it's one of those things that unless you're affected, then it's not in the forefront of your mind. But you know, it's the largest minority group in the world, and it's the only minority group that any of us can join it in.
That's very true.
If you think about it, like
Yeah.
as we age,
Yeah.
what happens to us?
Yeah, that's very true. Your needs, lots of needs. So, how do people around the country then find out about you? What do you put out there? How do people help you?
So this goes back to the brand, right?
Okay.
It really is. And nonprofits are tax designations, not business practices.
Sure.
And so you have to market yourself just like any other business, except you're providing services.
Yeah.
For our agency, our reputation is pretty established
Yeah.
in Northeast Florida.
Sure.
But Centers for Independent Living, really, when someone's in need, they're reaching out and looking for stuff. So, the web's a great place to find us.
Yeah.
But one of the difficulties that I found with Centers for Independent Living is that they're all called different things. Like we're called the Independent Living Resource Center.
Sure.
The one here is called Independent Living Center of Brooklyn, I think,
Okay.
or something.
Yep.
So that's a little
different.
disconnect, but you can still count on the staple of those 5 services that we talked about.
And how can people, are you taking donations of money and resources of people and also items? Like how can people help you?
A lot of different ways.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's important.
So if you go to our website and if you want to pledge like maybe $5 a month, that's one way to financially support us. But there's all different types. I mean, we've had
Big
some
events.
of big events.
We host really amazing events in Jacksonville. I was lucky enough to attend one or two, and they're fantastic. And I know how much work goes into this.
Yeah, and it takes some volunteers
It's
too.
a lot of volunteers, a lot of your time and your team's time to dedicate to this, but it really raises awareness, and that's, I think, the most important part, like you were talking about. This is a brand, and to get the word out there of all the great things you're doing, you have to really raise yourself to that level. Like, okay, we need help. This is what we're doing. Come help us in the community, and how you can see yourself actually helping people. You can see what you're doing, and it's lovely to see how effective they are by what people can do and how they can help. It's beautiful. Talk to me about, this is something I love, what you've done with the artwork. Can you tell us a little bit about the artwork and what it is?
So every year at the Riverside Arts Market, we have a pretty awesome event. We lay out canvas, we stretch it out along the ground.
One giant canvas or different canvas?
Well, we have 3 separate ones.
Okay.
We switch colors, mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
But you roll it out, and what we have are wheelchairs,
Okay.
and we paint the wheels of those wheelchairs, and both people with disabilities and able-bodied individuals can use that as kind of like their paintbrush.
It's really incredible. Where can people see the artwork right now if they want to go online and look at it?
Well, you can go online on Facebook, and I think
Okay.
that you put the link in that
Oh,
tag,
yes,
the
I did.
ILRC. So if you
ILRC.
click that, you'll see in our photo album some of the artwork. It's called Abilities in Art. We do it annually.
So great.
It's fun.
It's so beautiful, and every year when he has these great events, I always try and get the auction item, and I'm like, yes, I want some of this artwork, and I'm always outbid every single time.
Yeah.
It's
Well, we
devastating.
appreciate you putting it in, but one of the challenges is really connecting a fun event to the purpose. Like,
Yes.
is it just artwork or is it
Obstacle. You're good now.
Is it just artwork or does it have a purpose? And
Sure.
how we connect it is that when people get into the wheelchairs
Yes.
and they're actually moving the wheelchair, they put 2 and 2 together and they're like, wait, how do I turn?
Yes.
And so it's a great thing to actually make you think for a second. Like, I'm in a wheelchair, how do I get up a step? Well, that's why we have things like the Americans with Disabilities Act,
Sure.
that curb cuts are required.
Yes.
So.
That's important. Because people, again, they don't think about that, and different communities require different things. And New York is different than, let's say, Jacksonville, and maybe South Carolina is different than Nevada. And how do you do all this? And and you doing these art things makes people think, wow, this is really beautiful, and people are creating this with their own power of their wheelchairs. And I think that's so moving, and I love all of it. It's just gorgeous.
You know what I love is seeing in Bethesda Terrace, those
You guys.
people. I took some video, so we'll share it later.
We'll share.
But they were like
Performing arts.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So Tyler has never been to the Bethesda Terrace and Fountain, so of course I had to drag him there. And
kicking and screaming.
And I did, like, please come meet
No.
me. And while we were walking to meet with him, there were 2 individuals that were doing performing arts in their wheelchair. And it was beautiful. All of a sudden I said, Tyler, you gotta come over and see this and just witness how beautiful it was, because I have never seen anything like that before. Have you?
Yeah. No, and I think that that's probably one of the biggest reasons to travel and reach out to